Hi there, and welcome to episode number 63 of the Couch on Ice podcast. Before we get in some hockey news, I kind of just want to bring up another sport really quick and talk about the craziest weekend of football I have ever had being a fan. And I mean, there was a lot of games to talk about, but I specifically just have one to bring up, and I'm going to throw it over to Chase in a second here, but the Chargers-Raiders game, oh my God. But Chase, just to appease to maybe some of our football fans, do you want to kind of bring up there were some other crazy games
Well, there was
going.
just crazy playoff implications, eh?
Very.
It was just nuts. And it all went like the opposite way that was kind of sensible.
Yeah.
It was pretty crazy. Like the Eagles playing the Bucks was probably the last thing I seen coming.
Yeah, I know.
How it ended up is it's so strange and so crazy.
So many good teams playing good teams now.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just the most wild thing, and like everything weird that could happen seemingly happened just to make sure Ben made the playoffs.
Yeah, just to make sure Big Ben makes playoffs. And he's close on, I think, like being second for the most wins on a single franchise or something like that as a quarterback. I can't remember. I think he's only like
there's a lot
three
of
or four away.
Broken now because they have that fucking 18th week.
Yeah,
there's like a 19 records broken.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's like, oh wow, amazing.
It's like, wow, these guys are having good seasons, but they're getting a full extra game, which could be an extra 200 yards for a running back or 300, 400 throwing yards, like for a quarterback. So, no shit, hey.
Yeah, it was just epic like that, and having the Thursday night like we talked about at the end of last episode of hockey, and then that on top, like I'm just in heaven here, dog. Like
I had the best week of sports.
Epic. And yesterday
this
ridiculous. Actually,
this week's been great.
Games on Saturday.
Yeah, they did
the NFL on Saturday. Like, man, it was just great game after great game. There was the odd not great game, but even like the teams that shouldn't have had good games, or it shouldn't have been that great of a game, they were just super good games, like the Lions. Rodgers or whatever, the
Jordan,
Packers,
if he could that's
Detroit.
Yeah, buddy, they're actually way
3-13.
Matt Stafford has looked so good since the trade. Not that he's on our team anymore, of course, but like I can still cheer for the guy.
Yeah.
Kind of have to when you're a Detroit Lions fan.
The one thing that is cool though is Sarah's cousin is Jared Goff, and now he's a Lion.
No way.
He's our starting quarterback too.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Insane.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, no, the Lions are actually not that bad. I'm actually so surprised at their record. Like, it blows me away. If you actually look at some of their games, if you look at some of the games they played, like they lost by like a few points, like under a touchdown, so many games.
They were pretty competitive all year.
Yeah, other than just Jared Goff not being good enough.
Don't tell Sarah we said that. No, I just I had to bring this up quick because I'm going to talk about that Raiders-Chargers games for a second, because I have never seen a quarterback make so many fourth down attempts in my life than Herbert. I think he made like 5 out of 6 or 7 out of 8 or something. 6 out of 7.
Love bug, buddy.
I love him. He's pretty good. I'm actually kind of like distraught that they're not in the playoffs because they had such a good season, the Chargers. And
it was like almost he needed a slap in the face.
Well, the Chargers,
as a rookie or something. Being young, like it sucks, man. I fully agree. They were good enough.
For myself, the Chargers are like, I have a very soft spot for the Chargers because as a kid, I had a DS. And I used to play this Madden 05 on it. And for some reason, I would always pick the Chargers. I don't know why. I think it's because their running back was super fast in the game. So I just loved having a fast running back.
Yeah, it was probably like LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah, exactly.
Phillip Rivers or something.
Oh, yeah, I had Phillip Rivers for sure. And I love the Chargers. I'd always win with them, but like that was when I was like 5-6 years old, right? So I didn't know football, but I have a soft spot for them for that moment. But this game, just Chargers coming back from 15 points in the third quarter to come back and in the last play tie it, and then run the Raiders getting that field goal with, what was it, like 6 minutes left, something like that, in overtime, and the Chargers just willing their way downfield with another fourth down play and tie it yet again somehow. Like, it was just insane, and tied up with a minute left in overtime, and then Raiders come down, get close enough for a field goal and end it. It's just just ridiculous. Exactly. I was so happy because I was literally talking to my uncle the day of that game before it had happened. Like, at least you're not a Steelers fan. We're going to miss the playoffs this year, which I'm not as accustomed to because we've been pretty good for a while.
Well, it's just the fact that like it didn't seem right for Ben to just have his last game, a regular season game. Like, he was gonna end in the playoffs. This is how it is. It's Ben. Like,
he's been like our rock for like 40 years straight. Like, the guy's 80 years old. Like,
he could have threw one completion all year. They would have found their way to the playoffs. Just sheer off the fact that
TJ Watt, man. TJ Watt will just sack every play. I love him. He's so good. But so happy. We made playoffs. I know we're always first round exit. Laugh at the Steelers fan. But like, it's okay. At least we're a playoff team and we're not the Chargers. So I'll take it.
Yeah, that's a tough one for the Chargers. I kind of
so tough. I'm so sad.
I'm just like a random Chargers fan. I became even more of a Chargers fan simply because of like the Yahoo Fantasy. Liz Loza does like an Eckler's Edge where like they literally talk about fucking a couple of things or whatever fantasy wise every week, and it's like the greatest thing on earth. It's like so cool. There's like an actual player and he's like one of the second best running back or fantasy option this year or something like that. And he's just a fantasy host.
Oh man, like my
shit on earth.
Don't even mention it. Like,
feels so bad for him that he didn't make a buyout.
Man, the my girlfriend's sister's boyfriend, he's in a fantasy league and he's a massive football fan. Like how we are with hockey, he is with football. And he comes up and we're talking about his fantasy league a little bit. He's like, dude, I'm killing it this year. I got the partnership of Herbert and the running back. The Chargers running back.
And Eckler.
And Eckler there. And they are
that's
just...
what I'm talking about.
I just... Mine slipped my name. But, and they're just tearing it like you're saying, right? So I know exactly what you're talking about in fantasy because he talked about it for like 15 minutes straight how like amazing balls these two were this year.
Yeah, it was awesome. They'd have like Herbert on there, and Herbert apparently his dad had him in fantasy.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
Fucking great.
That's so good. Awesome. That's such a feel good story.
Yeah, they're just talking about, or they like every week or whatever, every couple of weeks they'd have people on. So they had like actors and shit on and stuff like that. Like
have Antonio cool. Brown on.
Other players and stuff like Melvin Gordon and whatnot.
Yeah,
they're just talking about their fantasy football and stuff. It's just wild. Like, imagine like nobody's like ever done that in any other sport. We'd love to see it. Who are fantasy dudes are in the NHL.
In the NHL? I don't know if there is any. I hear them bring it up once for an ad. Oh, no, I've totally heard of some. I've listened to a podcast or two where there's one. I don't remember what it's called, but I've definitely like listened to some.
I hear that McDavid guy's pretty good.
Yeah, he's decent. Usually whoever's got McDavid's in first in fantasy hockey. Isn't that how it is in our league, Chase?
Just for the first 20 games, 30 games when he gets like 2 points per game.
I think he's still in first though because I've been tailing him.
McDavid.
Nobody's really? So, yeah. Well, he's gonna be the.
He is still in. He's not gonna stay there probably.
I'm hoping not. I'm trying to climb. I'm so close, man. I'm having such a good season in fantasy.
Yeah.
For
I'd
me.
like to know who our NHL Austin Eckler is, or our fantasy game.
David Perron.
I know John Carlson is wicked in fantasy.
Yeah, John Carlson.
No, I'm not just talking like how good they
decent.
are in fantasy, like actually being like a host on a show and
Oh, okay.
like Eckler did.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Eckler does
Gotcha.
every week or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any. I mean, I was listening.
Never heard anything.
I heard that like TJ Oshie doesn't even know like the names of half the NHLers. That he only knows the big dogs and maybe that. Like,
yeah, like I said, I've never really heard much about that.
No, me neither. But boys, should we get into some hockey this week?
Oh, I guess we could. If you want.
What games? Let's talk about some games that we watched. Chase, do you have any games you'd like to bring up?
I want to bring up some just nasty goals. So I think it was the day before January 4th, Wednesday, I believe it was, where Nashville. I think I missed bringing this up on the last podcast, but did you guys see Philip Forsberg's second goal in the Vegas game? Because it was just nasty. He blocks a shot, goes and retrieves it as he's going down the ice, one-on-one against Pietrangelo, and he flips the puck up over his stick and like bats it and goes around and scores. It was oh dude, like half of the reason I go to the ODR and stuff is to basically flip pucks around and shit like that and just screw around.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Literally did that, and I was like, oh my god, my eyes just got massive. But I saw Barkov do the same thing in the other, what game was that? It wasn't too long ago. Shit.
The Calgary game?
No.
Not Calgary. More recent.
Dallas game.
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas game. Yeah, that's 6-5 Dallas game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did like the same kind of thing, flipping the puck up. But yeah, definitely go watch that Forsberg against Vegas January 4th, I think it was. That was just the grossest goal, man. Like, I love that shit. Like, people got to start flipping the pucks up. And
I love when they do it.
Like,
well, we've seen Forsberg do this even better, though, when he flipped it over what's-his-name's head. And he just didn't score.
It seems so rare. Yeah, it seems so rare. You don't get to see it very much when it actually works. Eh?
Yeah, he is probably him and Zegras are probably the two that try the most interesting moves in the NHL.
No doubt, man.
Like every game or two, it's must-watch hockey. Like, imagine how many tickets Forsberg brings in when he's healthy, like just for that.
No doubt.
Just to score a goal like that. He could do nothing the rest of the game, and it's worth it. For the team.
Just attempt one thing.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Everyone just loves that shit. So, yeah. No, any other goals?
Other than that, like the third, no, there was just a Barkov goal that it was kind of the same sort of idea where he like flipped the puck over the guy's stick. It was nasty. There's obviously a lot of ridiculously nice goals because we had quite the week on, actually quite a few days here. I'll go back to Thursday. Just bring up like the Wild Bruins game was super good.
That was awesome.
3-2.
Matthew Boldy scoring his first NHL goal, and it was a snipe and a half.
Yeah,
oh my god!
He created it, and he finished it. Like, it's
I was so impressed with Boldy that game. Rossi, I'm not like gonna say anything like too bad. He wasn't amazing the first game though. He was okay. But Boldy
like
was
sort of shining star,
yeah, it wasn't that noticeable, but like it's your first game, whatever. They're not all magical, right? Like some of the best players of all time.
Somebody that did look good, which is really good for the Wild, is Capo Kakko.
Kakkonen, yeah, man. Why isn't this guy playing more?
Yeah, I think they just felt comfortable with Cam Talbot. I was saying this the other
I get that, but why can't he be comfortable with two?
Goalies. I know.
Like, that's a thing. That is like the hot thing to do in the NHL now, and it works. Do it. Like, unless you have Vasilevsky, like, or Gibson or Hellebuck. Like, there's very few goalies in the NHL that you're like, those are like for sure. You can ride them 60 games, and you kind of have to. But like,
yeah, no, it was
Talbot's not that. Talbot's a 45 game to like. Just give him like 45 games, Talbot. 50 maybe.
Yeah, dude, like I'm pretty sure they looked at the dude that's in first in our fantasy league. I'm pretty sure they looked at his team and they're like, "Oh, he only has Cam Talbot. Well, I guess we'll play him all the time
Yeah.
for this guy because
Honestly,
like what the hell? That made no sense. Like actually, the last thing I saw,
Minnesota were also like
90% of the games.
Minnesota were also kind of like nasty. It's hard not to play your goalie. Like I want to compare it to Pittsburgh. But like our goalie, our backup goalie is literally unplayable, so it's different. I'll take Kakkonen over to Smith any day. Please.
No doubt.
Sorry. Continue.
Another thing to go on with this game was, well, obviously we've seen the second line now with the old Snacky man, and this team looks way better with Snacks on the second line.
Yeah,
like way better. So. Looking forward to seeing how Boston kind of keeps going after this. Still waiting on that trade once this COVID probably cools down a bit. They probably are really not happy about that fact. Like I'm sure they'd really like to make a move already. Hey, like,
they really want something to be done, and just this is such a bad time for making moves. Like everyone wants to do something, but nobody's going to do something. Just to kind of backtrack half a step back to Pasta on that second line there. It helped, but that's not what you want from Boston is the issue. Like, sure, it's a Band-Aid for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but why they're so damn good is that perfection line. They can beat any top line. You need to keep that together. Like, this isn't a long-term solution is the problem with Pasta's on the second line there.
Yeah, but I think you had to do it because, like,
I agree.
Moves, right?
No, I agree. It's like the Oilers splitting up McDavid and Draisaitl when they have to like that because it does make two proper lines, and you need that. I 100% agree. But all I'm saying is, it doesn't fix the issue. It's a Band-Aid. They still have to do something. This doesn't just make it okay, in my eyes. But no, Boston, they didn't look bad. They never look bad is the difference. Their defense is kind of meh without McAvoy on the ice. Their forwards don't seem scary offensively unless it's the big three in my eyes. Like there's no one on this team I'm like terrified of. Like, oh my God, he's going to score on us. I'm worried. Like Taylor Hall I was last year, but I don't know what's happening right now. He's just kind of like invisible right now. But I don't know. It's just
here and there, that's for sure.
I'm just not scared of this Bruins team anymore is the fact of it. And it's just weird to see. Weird to see I'm not scared of them anymore. Yeah. We should probably talk about that hit really quick too. That Trent Frederick hit on Kaprizov. That kind of fucks a lot of people, cough me in fantasy. But what did you guys think of the hit? Did you think it was suspension worthy? Do you think like anything bad of it? Like
not really. Like,
no? Okay. Yeah, I didn't either. I'm just seeing because there was some people out there saying
on Twitter. Yeah, no, like I was shocked on Twitter to see.
Yeah, I was a little too.
Freaking out, and I was like, "Whoa!"
It
like,
wasn't.
The guy started falling over. He was already going in there to like make the hit. He was doing that. That's what he was doing. The guy turned around or whatever, went around that guy, started tripped, and then he like kind of let up and kind of tried to hit his body. Like he was going in for the hit. Like he had a split second decision to make what if he just stopped? That was his other option.
That's the only argument against the hit.
And he basically did. And the guy just he just bumped him and he fell awkwardly into the board. I can't be mad or have anything against this or anything.
No,
then like hockey is like this is weird stuff that happens sometimes, and I'm chalking it up as that because
it's not. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm thinking it's not. I'm not saying it's a bad hit, and I'm not saying that he meant to hurt him or anything. I think it was kind of he didn't even think to go for the puck. That's the argument I'll say. It's not a suspension. Like Kaprizov was falling, he was gonna go for the hit, and like made a decision, didn't hit him in the numbers. It's just unfortunate.
Yeah,
But
it's hard to say that I don't want a guy out there that's
yeah,
hitting like
oh
that.
yeah,
If I
absolutely.
was a coach, there's definitely one or two guys. I'm like, you're following through on every check everywhere.
Yeah, oh
That's
yeah.
why I have you in this lineup. So I can't yeah. It's a hockey play that went
It is a
wrong
hockey
to me.
play. It's just the only thing I can say is the puck was right there, because if you freeze it before he even hits him, the puck is in between Frederick's skates, and he could have stopped, taking that puck and gone. That was an option, and he didn't do it, so it's unfortunate that Kaprizov got hurt in that standpoint. That's the worst argument
I don't
I would
believe
say
it's
against
anything
Fred.
like intense anyways. It doesn't sound like he's out week to
No,
week
no.
or month to month or something.
But
So
it
that's at
was
least
a big
good
part
thing.
of the game, though. You brought up the game. I thought we'd bring up a big part of it. That kind of
No doubt. It was. I
When-
totally forgot about that hit because
Right.
yeah, it was just such a weird
weird
little
play,
incident.
weird little incident.
Another thing that day that blew me away was just the Jets not showing up. Or I don't know. It was a
Oh
good
my
game.
God.
It was
Yeah.
just the Avalanche just dominating and
Oh,
scoring.
they're so
constantly,
good,
like,
man.
holy shit.
Colorado's the best team. They're so good. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand. They let in so many goals, but they're better at scoring than everyone. And it's not even like they don't try Colorado for a period, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we're losing 4-1, and we need to embarrass Toronto." Like,
Yeah.
jeez, it's just
Yeah,
no.
like,
They're so
there's,
good.
I liked JT Comfer going into the year. I like Newhook going into the year, and Newhook hasn't really been too great. He's been good though.
He's
Like,
been
just
getting
playing his
better
role.
as time
Not
has
that you
gone.
need-
He was slow at the start. I think he's gotten so much better lately. He's showing that
Yeah,
flair that you need from the young guy. That at any given moment, if you give him, if you like second guess him or like let
Give him a little
give him
space or
space,
something.
he's
or-
gonna take
yeah.
that, and he's good enough. Like McKinnon, like Rantanen, he's just not mature to do it consistently yet, and that's gonna come.
Yeah, like just their depth forwards are just way better than like
We thought.
you would assume it would have been. Like that's what I was worried about. going into the year,
O'Connor's
'cause,
like
you
insane,
had
by the
to-
way.
Yeah, you had to like actually rely on a guy like O'Connor or something because we
And
knew
they do.
like the top six was
Nichushkin.
fine, you know, like Burakovsky, Kadri, and Comfer with like your top line. So like we knew those guys were going to be good for this team,
Yeah.
and then hopefully Newhook as well. But
Yeah.
past that, it was kind of like, well, we'll see how these guys do because Jose hasn't been much, and like Connor looked good.
Yeah.
We'll see if he can continue that. And
He
like,
does.
yeah, like you said, like this is so cool to see a guy like that just
Oh, and
play hockey. And
you
he's
didn't
just
even
like, yeah,
bring up their most important depth player. That's Valerie Nichushkin.
Darren Helm. Darren
Yeah.
Helm.
Valerie
He's actually been
Nichushkin,
pretty
though.
good, but yeah.
Yeah, it's Nichushkin. He's one of the
Massive.
best two-way players in the game, frankly. Like, depth-wise, it's hard to argue.
Wrong. And every team needs those kind of guys.
Oh, that's what you win cups with. Those wingers
Oh,
on your
exactly.
third line.
You make careers out of being a fantastic bottom line player.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
every single team, especially playoff teams, need those kind of players.
And
you
they
can always pinpoint them on every team.
Yeah, and Dallas thought this guy was going to be a scorer, which is very interesting, but Colorado really shaped him into a great player. But yeah, these guys, and you didn't even bring up the defense in Cale Makar. Like, he is the best defenseman
Oh, he's
I have seen in a very long time. Yeah, like he's
so creative, and I love to see that.
he is the best skating defenseman we've ever seen. I don't care. He's better than Hughes. He's better than Fox. Like
No,
he's
I
better than
completely-
Carlson. Like he's smoother than Eric Carlson is, and I've never seen a smoother skater than Eric Carlson before now. So I just got
Yeah. I've talked about Makar before. Like, yeah, exactly. We have an actual defenseman that has offensive forward
he is
senses and stuff like
the
that.
best
for once,
two-way.
finally, like we've just been destroying defensemen for life. I bet we could have had like way more Paul Coffees and Bobby Orrs and crap like that, but like we just don't want them to play hockey. We want them
Imagine
to
how
stop
good
hockey.
Imagine how good Mike Green would be if he was the exact same player but born for this year, this NHL.
No doubt, hey. No
Like
doubt.
we might have a 40-goal season from a defenseman if that's the case.
No
God.
shit.
Like, there's a couple guys like that. Like, they're just crazy good and
About time.
broken.
About
But yeah,
time.
love this Colorado team. Do you have anything to add as well as that Colorado game?
No?
No?
Nothing.
Cool. I'm going to quickly jump in and piggyback the Colorado game really quick. Because I kind of already mentioned it, but we should probably bring up the Colorado Leafs game. And the fact how the Leafs blew a 4-1 lead
Oh, that was satisfying.
after
Oh my
Nick
God.
Ritchie scores, and the PTSD is back, baby. Let's go. Yeah, no, it was absolutely hilarious. I think you can be a little less upset because it's Colorado, and they've done this a lot this week. Like,
if you want to be, I guess, but yeah.
Obviously it's embarrassing. Without fail, it's embarrassing. I'm trying to say saving grace. You got a point, which is kind of loser mentality, but you got a point. At least it's the best offensive team we've ever seen. ? Maybe. Yeah, like there's a couple things, but wow. And the worst part was you can't blame your goalie. That was just pathetic from the Leafs. They were awful. They were so bad in that game.
It was fun to watch them just throw that away.
It was very, very fun to watch after Jack Campbell makes a super save diving across. And they gave up on him. Then they gave up on him after that. Like, that is not the time to give up on your fucking goalie.
Well, all they had to do was just stop Makar from scoring that super sick goal at the end of the third period, in the high slot.
Yeah, no kidding.
But
that's not like that's a way easier said than done. Like, it's Cale Makar.
Goes through like four guys. Like, come on, man, get out of here, dude.
Man, like, it is Cale Makar though. Like, we just talked about, he's the best defenseman.
McKinnon just like dangles his way into the offensive zone, gets all tripped up. Some kerfuffling happened. They get a shot on net. Makar's obviously just in this offensive zone. They pass it to him at the hash marks, and he just skates out, and goes backwards, and snipes through like 3 or 4 guys. Like, what?
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, no,
and that was the end of the game right there. Toronto, you're like going into the intermission, like, we're gonna lose this game, aren't we? Like, God damn it.
And you bring up Nathan McKinnon, and he missed 1/3 of the games they've played so far. He's missed 10 games, so he's played 21 games. You know how many points this guy has?
Does he have like 28 assists or something?
29 assists. He has 34 points right now.
Oh, yeah,
in 21 games.
5 goals. So
yeah, like, he is insane. Imagine he didn't miss those 10 games early as well with protocol bulk grab. Like, it's ridiculous. So it's always fun watching the Leafs blow a 3-goal lead, especially when it causes their fluke signing of the summer to be put on waivers. So that's a nice little tidbit on top of that with the Leafs. But
didn't they put him on waivers and then he had to play anyways or something? Yeah, it was
doesn't matter. He's on. I think he's on waivers right now. They played and then they put him on waivers. So,
you want to know whose numbers are crazy this season?
Yes, I do. Who?
Nazem Kadri. Do you
know
his so far?
I don't know his exact totals, but I do know he was like 4th in scoring, 20 games in.
He's like 2nd in like fantasy and like shit like that. He's way up there, and he's in like the top 5 in like scoring and shit like that.
Holy shit, he has 44 points.
He has 42 points in 27 games.
44 points in 28. Actually got 2 points last night, so as an update, that's insane. Like, it's wow. He's ridiculous, God. Like, this team is so good. Like, it's perfect. And I remember
that'd be the other thing that really pushed them over the edge is like I know Kadri's good, but like, holy shit, guy.
Yeah,
I didn't know you could be that good.
I knew he could be that good.
Next level.
I think I knew he could be this good, being in the perfect situation. Like, looking at him with the Leafs, he had 2 years in a row where he had 30 goals and 60 points. Like, I know he's like casually on like 100-point pace or something, but like with the Leafs as a second liner when they weren't necessarily, or third liner even, like where they weren't amazing yet, they were just decent. He's on Colorado, the best scoring team. But yeah, no, now Nas has been crazy good. This whole team has been. Jordan,
Yeah, the whole team.
Do you have any games you want to bring up?
I had 2.
All right, I hope it's what I think it is.
So the first one, I'm gonna start with the LA Kings.
Okay.
So there was the Kings game against
The Wings?
Unfortunate Wings. Yes. Sorry, Chase.
Oh, that was
Thumping.
rough, dude.
Yeah.
We had like no shots, hey?
Yeah, that was a unbelievably brutal game. That isn't even why I liked it, though. The best part was watching NBA player Dwight Howard introduce the fucking Kings lineup.
Oh, yeah.
Every pronunciation was fucking perfect. It made me want to run through a wall. It was so fucking energizing. Oh, I think we found the definite career for Dwight Howard after his NBA career.
An line announcer for the NHL, the LA Kings.
Exactly, right. Just an announcer in general, maybe. Who knows? Because he had so much energy. It was fantastic.
Well, we know how much media likes to hire former players into their media teams, so wouldn't put it past him if he enjoys it.
Yeah, that was DC
Dwight
and
Howard's
him.
time's
Cool.
coming up, and this isn't 2010 Dwight Howard anymore.
Yeah, he's definitely not the same Dwight Howard, so not playing wise.
He was crazy one day, but he was awesome that night. And I mean, it was a wicked night for him to show up, clearly, because I think Detroit had like 20 shots, 21 maybe.
Yeah.
Did we get to 20?
No. Yeah, they got to 20, but like
Are you sure? Were they actually all shots?
Yeah.
Yeah, you barely got to 20. You got 21 shots, but what was the stat? It was after the first period that it was 20 shots to 2.
It was bad.
Like,
it
LA
was
out
14-0 at one point, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure after a period or two, it was like you had 2 shots and they had like 20 some shots.
Yeah,
like you guys were just.
It was rattling.
Oh, did that kind of did
show up that game?
Oh, did that kind of humble you this year as Detroit? Like, okay, maybe you're not where we thought earlier a little bit, quite like.
Oh, I know exactly where we're at. I'm waiting for this for so long. Like, we're not going to be good all year.
But I thought you would be.
Anaheim's even gonna be that good all year. Like, we're gonna have to start doing some of this. Like, other teams better start waking up. Like, LA was excited to play a game they could possibly win because they've been getting murdered lately. And we were like,
they've been really good lately.
Drew Doughty especially looked absolutely on a mission.
Yeah, man. This LA team is like they're finally starting to look like what we thought they were going into the season. They're starting to get healthy. Their defense is starting to get better. Like, this defense without Drew Doughty, like you can see how much worth he is to this defense alone and why that contract isn't as bad as I think. Now, don't get me wrong. I am not the first one to say I would trade for a Drew Doughty $11 million contract, but I think it's better than the other $11 million defenseman we know who's not as great in California. So,
what do you mean? Best player?
Yeah, Erik Karlsson. I'll take Drew Doughty over Erik Karlsson and their contracts any day of the week.
Oh, God, yeah, especially with how Drew Doughty has been this season and honestly last as well.
and wins.
Yeah, exactly.
He knows how to
The
win.
guy's
Yeah.
on a mission. He wants to fucking play well. He wants to show people that he's worth it.
He wants playoffs really bad, and I'm not gonna.
He wanted the Olympics, that's for sure.
He really wanted the Olympics, but he's not getting that. So, LA's really gonna push.
Prove himself for the World Cup, though. You know,
yeah,
still gotta prove himself for that.
He could make that team. You never know.
Yeah, in all reality, if it does happen, it should only be like a year, maybe 2 at max. I would
should be this summer, but it won't be. But I digress.
Yeah, probably not a good.
Yeah, no, just LA working. Detroit, LA starting to pick up a little bit.
What am I looking at right now? Is this real?
What are you looking
Minnesota? Just Minnesota not being in the top 3 anymore. Is that actually happening?
Yeah, but by points percentage, points percentage,
not yet. Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
They've had a bad couple of games.
And LA's the second, like, wow.
Yeah, but also look at the winning.
That's so trippy.
Yeah. It's crazy.
I'm just looking like I point.
Nashville's on a 4-game win streak. Colorado's on a 4-game win streak. St. Louis is on a 2-game. Like, those 3 teams are on a heater right now. It's funny though. Minnesota has a better points percentage than the whole Pacific, though.
Yeah. Hey.
So they're a playoff team. So without question, they should be. They might even get top 3, depending if Nashville or St. Louis slow down.
Yeah.
Oh no, but it is pretty tricky.
Definitely they win. No. Nashville keep this up. Like I like how they're playing. I love the team, and I love that everything's actually starting to click now. But
absolutely.
I don't see them like actually pushing this greatly the whole time. Like even when they were good beforehand, were they ever really like a top 2 couple team in the actual divisions? Like they never really were. They were always hitting that
Minnesota
wild card spot. No, Nashville.
Oh, Nashville. Nashville's Nashville's been good. Like maybe they've been 1 or 2 like twice.
Yeah. So
and like they went to a cup final roughly around that time, I think, or maybe it was slightly before. But like, yeah, they were good for like a year or 2.
So yeah, like
they're insane right now. Like they're just on a high. They're winning every game they play. Like however, with how they're playing, if they miss playoffs, they're a disgrace of a hockey team. Like they cannot miss playoffs at all.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be in pretty comfortably, I think, with how much of a lead they have. So I don't know.
I don't think they have to be. They're really technically only a couple wins away from somebody else.
Yeah, but that's still.
But no, they should make the playoffs. They honestly should. I'm with you on that. They really should make the playoffs.
If they don't, then that's the team I make fun of.
Especially with the cap space and stuff and the ability to make a move.
You have the best goalie, have one of the best D-man, have one of the most creative forwards, and you're somehow re-injuvenated Duchesne to be decent. Like, I don't know.
We're gonna have to go over some. I might have to do some projections again or some predictions again because now that we've gotten past that. Well, Bruce Boudreau got that team going again, so I'm feeling pretty nice with the old Vancouver. I'm thinking about kicking Calgary out again. I don't know. I'm starting to feel not so.
I like this. I like this Calgary team. I think they're playing fine.
I do. They're just I like 10 teams. Maybe that's my problem.
Yeah, that's very accurate. For the first year in history, like everyone always says, "Oh, there's only 1 cup to give out. Why do you give up so much stuff? Like if you're not like one of the 3 teams who are going to win it." Like this year, there's literally 12 teams that could win it. There's 12 teams I can picture lifting the cup this year, and that's unheard of.
And there's 10 teams on each side that should be in the playoff.
Playoffs. Easily.
It feels like, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. It's starting to divide the league a little bit more. We're starting to see which is the bottom half, middle, and top a little bit better, but that's good.
Like it blows me away that Edmonton, Winnipeg, and Dallas are 4, 5, and 6 right there. Like, it just blowing me away.
Edmonton still chill.
Vancouver, man.
I'm comfortable with Edmonton. Edmonton to me is like I got no really that much. If they go below or equal to 500, then I'll be worried. Like if they lose four of their next 5 or something like that, like somewhere in that, maybe 3 of their next 4, I'll start worrying. But like, give them a couple games. I'm sure they'll sort it out. Don't make a panic move. Don't do anything stupid. Just kind of try and steady the horse. Go forward. Play Stuart Skinner. Like, if Koskinen is not playing good enough, play the guy who's had a good season. Like, you need a quick fix now. But you can't make a trade because you'll lose that trade typically being in a panic state. Play Skinner. You play Skinner. He's the reliable goalie today. It's that simple.
I'm really confused. We're wondering how this is gonna pry out because obviously, if Smith plays any good game, they'll play him because that's what they've been doing the last.
I'm okay with Smith actually, like playing. It's just the fact that he's injured all the time. If Smith and Skinner were goalies for the rest of the year, I'm more comfortable than probably Smith and Koskinen. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree.
Skinner's been pretty good this year. The stats have shown it.
Yeah.
I just play him. Just play him.
They got to find a way to make a move on that goaltender switch. Like, I'd really like
eventually,
to see
but
Varlamov go. Like, if you can actually nab Varlamov for a decent price, like the guy's at least signed next year.
That's not bad.
At least
the only
feel so bad about it.
Know what though? I don't love that. Honestly, I think Varlamov is only as good as the system he plays in, and Edmonton would eat him up. We've seen that he can't handle tons and tons of high danger shots. He needs people to keep him on the outside, and the Oilers do not do that. I worry about Varlamov going if they make a move there, personally. I don't trust... Like, there's certain goalies that are very good, but only in a certain system. There's a lot of players that way, too. And Varlamov is very much needs a defensive system to be good. He will stop every easy shot for the most part.
Does it seem like that because he's been with the Islanders the last little bit? Like, we got to remember he was with, like...
Yeah,
the other,
Colorado and not very
like
good.
Like,
he was bad, too.
He was, like...
When they were
hurt or he was super good is basically who Varlamov has been.
I never thought he was that great.
Oh yeah,
never really cared for him. He had a couple of years where he was decent.
He keeps getting hurt. Like that's been his career from what
I do not see him as a good goalie in the Edmonton system at all. Not the right goalie personally.
Yeah, no, Fleury would definitely fit.
Fleury's a little bit better. I'm not just saying no Varlamov. Year, I'm not saying no Varlamov just because I want Fleury either.
Fucking move.
Not yet. It's panic time. You don't do it today. Give it a week. Give it 2 weeks if you need. Like, settle down. Get a grasp of your team.
We got to see if Smith can play, obviously. We still don't even know
absolutely.
If he can play. He hasn't even played enough games and hasn't had any sort of consistency yet. We don't even know if he can play.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Which is weird because he was like one of the best goalies last year. But
condensed schedule, less games.
Like what you were saying there earlier about Edmonton, like they're above 500. Like that's kind of the same with like Dallas. So Dallas is way above technically 500, 17, 13, and 2. Winnipeg's a little bit behind. They're getting worrisome. But like,
I'm more worried. Let's put it this way: like, I am way more worried about Winnipeg and Dallas than I am about Edmonton. Way more.
Oh yeah. Well, how do you be worried about McDavid and Draisaitl?
Well, that's the point.
Darnell there, so
right. But, like that's the point. They should be a playoff team, and they probably will be. So like, people are hitting the panic button, like, oh, they're not good. Yeah. Do you know when they need to be good? April. Like they playoff time. Well, I assume
more consistent.
They just got to be good in the playoffs. Like if they get there, that's the biggest thing. Like I know you want to be better going into playoffs, but guess what? There's still how many games left?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. So many
it's like
games.
48 games left for Edmonton.
Hopefully so many games.
Well, I think they'd probably push the season back. They'll play 82. That's their primary goal. That's the only thing they care about the NHL this year. They will play 82.
Hopefully.
The season might get pushed back, but they'll play 82. let's kind of like bounce back off of Edmonton for a second. Jordan, you said you had another game to talk about.
I did, yeah.
Yeah, why don't you share that with the class?
It's a bit of an unfortunate one, but there is a positive. It is the Wild versus Washington.
Oh,
game.
I'm so happy you brought this up because I almost had to bring it up because you didn't. But yeah, talk about it. Talk about the crazy scenes. And
All right, so let's get the elephant out of the room. What a goal from Carl Hagelin.
Oh, sniped it right in the middle of the net.
Unfortunate. Just watching it.
The fact that ruined Zach Fucale's longest streak is insane.
Yeah.
Like, it's so hilarious.
But you know what? The good news, he got the record at least.
He did get the record.
Yeah, and regardless of that, Zach Fucale has played exceptional in every single game he has been put into.
He's starting tonight, actually.
Yeah, and I don't see why he shouldn't be because Sammy has been down.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Play the hot goalie right now, especially when you're Washington, you're flying high. Like, you can take risks. Like, you lose a game with Fucale, who gives a shit. Like, just put in Vanacek or Sammy, as long as they're not in protocol or hurt or something, then. But, yeah.
Exactly.
No, how about the game, though, Wedge? Were you really disappointed? Because the Caps kind of had a stranglehold of Winnipeg for the first half of that game.
I was disappointed, but at the same time, I saw a lot of good things.
Yeah, like McMichael scoring, which is nice.
Was awesome. Zach Fucale absolutely stonewalling Ryan Hartman was.
Oh, that was unbelievable. Was that jump across?
That was.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Your power play is fucking, like, scary as shit, like, as always. Like,
well, I'm not too worried about it.
Oh, absolutely not.
It was a shit one to lose.
Absolutely.
And then, of course, it goes to overtime, and we're not winning that. So.
Especially Minnesota, to be fair. They're so good in overtime. But, no, very good game. Unfortunate that Fucale's streak had to end because of Carl Hagelin, his own winger. But it's kind of a funny story. We haven't seen that happen in a while. And it's even funnier for me because it's the Caps. So
at least we're in a position where I think the team can have a good laugh about it and carry on.
Oh, absolutely. You guys are on fire, flying away. Not worried about the Caps one bit. Honestly, there's the 4 teams in the Metro, the top 4. Not worried about one bit. And speaking of one of those top 4, let's talk about quickly the Pittsburgh Flyers game. I don't really want to talk much about Pittsburgh because that game just showed Pittsburgh's just dominant. When they want the game, they're just going to take it. And they took it from Philly, but oh boy, is Philly bad. Like, I just can't imagine how it's crazy to me. Their defense is just it's not there. There's not one person on that defense where I'm like, ooh, he's pretty decent, stopped us a lot. Like, even like there's just no one. No one seems motivated. Their forward group, the lines are wrong. They're wrong. I don't know. I don't know what and how to fix them necessarily right now, because it's not like I'm dialed in on Philly right now.
Oh, yeah, right. That actually reminds me. I was asking you this. Like, are they missing Voracek this much?
Oh,
was he that much of your offense? Like,
they have no creativity.
So, like, clearly the 40 assists that he got created 40 goals, not Cam Atkinson getting 20 goals. That's not helping you.
No, it doesn't. Again, I love Cam Atkinson's really good on that team. Like, there's a couple individual players I really like on that forward group. Morgan Frost.
Love like half of these players, man. Like,
I love half of these players, but
there's no sense why they're
it's
so bad.
the lines they're putting together I'm really confused about because
look at this sick first line they got going right now. Like, obviously people are Joel Farabee, Scott Lawton, Cam Atkinson.
Not good.
Casey
it's just
stuff.
I don't like anyone who's playing with each other.
Right.
I understand that, like, they're going through protocol, like you just said, Chase, but
and injuries,
but so is everyone, and they can't play as a team. None of them
And let's
all
be
play for
serious
each
about-
other.
Like, you can have 1,000 injuries on this Flyers team. You guys should be able to handle that. You guys got
Yep.
mad prospects. You got mad players. Like, you
Yeah,
should not
Cam
be worried
York.
about,
Cam
like,
York
3 or
played.
4 people getting hurt. Like,
Cam
you got
York
lots of good
made his
young
debut
guys.
against Pittsburgh. Morgan Frost was like really scary for the first like 10 minutes, and then he got benched for some reason. Or I don't know about bench, but he definitely wasn't playing as much. Yeah, I don't know. I look at this Flyers team. Carter Hart's pretty decent, but like doesn't really have anything in front of him. For funniest thing about this is Philly's never had a goalie. They finally get a goalie, and their team is shit.
Yeah, I heard people talking about how good
that's so
he was
funny.
playing and stuff on the
He wasn't
that
like
game or something.
he
And I was
wasn't
like,
like so good, but he was all right for a.
no, they were just talking about his play and stuff like that. And I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, like, how do you even bring up
He's
his
decent.
play with the team playing like this? You know, like,
It's like the Vancouver situation before, like with Demko being so good, but Vancouver lost all the time.
Exactly.
Similar to that, but like it just seems worse with Philly because there's no hope or direction. You already fired the coach, so it's the players. Unless you hired wrong again, then it's the GM's fault. But I think Fletcher's done, like sooner rather than later. Like
yeah, they really should not have done that.
maybe
All firing.
if he does one more move that's questionable in any which way, I think he's gone. I think this is kind of the. Remember when Chiarelli with Edmonton signed Koskinen to that deal, and then the next day he was fired? Chuck Fletcher's that away from being canned.
Yeah,
in my
the
eyes.
blessing in disguise. It was such a good signing in a sense. It was such a good
it
signing,
was because it
but
got rid of
wasn't.
Chiarelli, but like it's still hurting them today.
Yeah, no, I think I'm starting to think it was a blessing in disguise. I think they needed
Absolutely,
some
in a
mediocre,
way.
not good goalie overpaid for a few years.
It's just like that
Just to
much.
to make them build instead of just trying to trade for things. And
But like, know what's
stuff like
crazy to me is looking at Koskinen's deal and what he had shown for an extent.
I know, hey,
Extension
where did he get that
is
from?
like
He
where
just, called some guy in the KHL and was just like,
where
"Man,
do you get
play pretty good
$4.5
hockey."
mil?
Like,
Where do like if he
Like,
would have given him
Come on,
three, yeah, if he would have given him 3, I would have still been pissed. But
It
you're
could have been 4.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
like it's
4.5.
3.5, 4, like 3 is like
Jeez, man.
you
Yeah,
couldn't
I fully agree. I
you
love
couldn't have
baseball,
offered him
though. Like,
2.5 and he wouldn't have accepted it, being a 29-year-old, 30-year-old goalie, never played. Just like, here's $2 million for you. He's gonna say no to that? Are you kidding? I bet you could work him into $2 million. Should be like, okay, sign somewhere else for $4 million, not here.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, no, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
What's that, Jordan?
Oh, I was just saying, like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Sorry, Chase. Go on.
Are you done with the old? I was gonna.
Yeah, done with the Pens.
Actually.
Yeah. If you want to piggyback on the Pens, quick, I can talk to you about Pittsburgh stuff.
Yeah. Let's talk about them just getting that 10-game winning streak ended by the old superstars.
Yeah.
Wait. Obviously.
And I didn't see the game, by the way. I didn't really see the game because I had family Christmas with my grandparents, so I missed the game.
So basically, you guys were who you were the whole time before that. For the first period, came out just guns blazing, scored 2 goals, just super epic.
Hell
Dallas
yeah.
was just like going into the intermission like we're probably gonna lose, I guess. And no, the Stars, they did what
their top line was their top line.
Like they did what we've seen them do in past when they were good, and like when they went to the finals and stuff like that. They stifled the offense. They slowed the game down. They found ways to poke until at least they weren't scoring goals, and just slowly turned the tide around. Like Gurianov got a goal in the second period. And then
Jason
the
Robertson had 3 assists.
Yeah, they were just so stoked getting out of that second period,
Yep.
2-1 Dallas, and I think that's really all they needed, and that's just how it was. Pavelski, obviously, he's got to come up big. That's just how that line is, you know.
It's that first line.
That was cool. It was cool again. So Pavelski in front of the net, and Rupe just finishes it off. It was super, super good game. Loved this game. It was so much fun to watch. But
absolutely.
What was that? That was Rupe fucking. Oh yeah, right. He did that saucer to the middle and hit off his back. I can't remember what the player was, Marino or something like that, and it like flipped up, and he had the guy in the slot had to like slap it out of the air.
Yeah,
Heiskanen batted out of the air, and it almost worked, and then he batted it again. Didn't hit it very well. Oh yeah, that was Robertson. It was just so sick, and then Rupe's just standing in the crease.
Yeah, no,
super fucking good game. It was crazy though.
For sure, losing. Funny enough, I think I've missed in total like 3 or 4 Penguins games this entire year, and I'm pretty sure we've lost most of them. Funny enough. So I guess I'm doing my fan base. At least I get to see them win more often. But no. Hopefully I won't miss next game, boys. So we'll make sure we get the W. Just make sure you play Jari.
Yeah. They had Stars had the Ottinger in there, so that was cool.
He's sick, man. I love Ottinger.
I don't know if this is true or anything. Like obviously they've been haven't had him up all year, but I feel like they play him in like the bigger games all the time.
Ottinger.
Like when against the Pens on a 10-game winning streak.
Yeah. When did Dallas play previous?
I feel like they do this quite a bit. They try to.
1 second.
When did they play? I think they just played
like previous to the.
They might have played the day before.
No, they didn't.
Thursday.
2 days before. So it was So like they were who played in that game? Holtby, I'd imagine. Holtby played against Florida though, and Florida's pretty good. I think they're on rotate. Honestly, I feel like
they are, but
just confident in both.
Bigger game. Like
know what they're doing?
Biggest game, the one that's like really like we need to win this game. It seems like it's Ottinger, because I've seen it like there's about 3 games I'm thinking about where it's like,
I don't know.
The Stars need to win this game, because I've been following the Stars quite a bit. So then I'll be like, oh hey, this is a big game. Like they really, really need to win this one.
Seen Holtby play Carolina. I've seen Holtby playing Carolina a time or two.
But I'm not saying that was the game they needed to win. Like when they're losing and they're doing whatever, and all of a sudden they come against a good component, and sometimes
it's probably because they're playing Holtby and losing. I think they play them both equally, honestly. Like I understand what you're trying to say here. Like seemingly, maybe they trust Ottinger. Maybe they trust Ottinger in the bigger games, and that's something we don't know. I feel like they trust them both better. They trust them both how Minnesota should trust their goalies. So, to quickly backtrack to Pittsburgh, because I just want to point this. I have this note on them, and we were on them. I don't want to come back. So, Pittsburgh, Brian Burke says that the Penguins need to stop the trend of unloading assets at the trade deadline. So, our president coming out and saying we are not buyers at the deadline for the first time in 15 years. I'm cool with that. I saw that and like I'm a little disappointed. Like, there's always like a little hope in me that like maybe we'd do a little something, like even if it's not like major. I know we already just made a trade.
Everybody wants a good deal to happen.
I wouldn't hate unloading certain assets to get like someone with term who's like an underrated player, like a Lawson Krause. I want a Lawson Krause, right? Yeah, exactly. Something.
Because like I understood the reasoning behind it was that we just couldn't afford to pay how good Verana was.
Well, right? Looking at his contract, what he actually signed, I don't know. I think they probably could have afforded that.
Yeah, but that might have just been Yzerman magic.
Yeah, no, I guess. That's true. But yeah, no. I just wanted to bring that up, that we're probably not buying at the deadline. It's just, there's always the hope, like, maybe you get a Chikrin in there, like a big, being that on, like, the big left-handy man, right? But I figured, figured they wouldn't.
A move.
Yeah, it's always fun.
You know,
it's always,
might...
we were excited about Alex Nylander going to the Penguins last episode. Like, I always love a trade.
Like, they're not going big game hunting. Like, what he's saying is he's not spending picks or prospects. A certain individual. Like, he'll trade. Maybe
he might make a move.
To me, he might make a Zucker move for something else, or he might make something like that because they could do something. But, like, let's be serious. If their team's going to play like this,
we're playing good. You probably don't change anything. Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
you trade like a high pick or something. Maybe.
Yeah, you trade a
X depth player, like that might be what
that's all you do typically. But if we're not going to be unloading those young assets to use in the future, then there's nothing else to move. Maybe Rust, but I doubt it.
Quite a bit. We talked about this quite a bit. Like this, they got to stop doing it, man.
Yeah, and they are. So I'm totally cool.
You probably should have stopped doing it a couple of years ago, but
2 years ago,
why the moves were made. So,
but however, there's a couple trades that have been made that are like look awesome in hindsight that didn't look great at first, like the Kapanen deal. Like, I know we pretty much gave up Rodion Amirov for Kapanen, but like he kind of fits the team. I really like what he brings in a way. As long as he doesn't like break the bank on a contract, I love Kapanen. If it's under $5 million or like around that, I'm totally game. But yeah, just to move off the Penguins, let's talk about, should we bring up Dallas and the John Klingberg stuff now? You guys want to bring it up now?
Yeah, we should.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to play a clip of John Klingberg talking about trade rumors about him and the Stars. So just give me a second here and I will pull that up.
Yeah, that's going to be some
interesting stuff. So here we go. John Klingberg talking about trade rumors.
You comment on that? Yeah, I don't think it's entirely true. It's not like I've been going out there and asking I want to get traded now or something like that. It's something that's been going on.
I'm not hearing anything.
And stuff like that.
Oh, you guys aren't hearing anything? Jordan, were you hearing it?
No, I wasn't.
Okay. 1 second, then let me try it one more time. Sorry about that, folks. You guys may have to go on to the Discord to hear it. It should be going through though. So I'm gonna restart that clip so the boys can hear it. Here we go.
You're aware of the trade rumor talk. Any comment on that?
There we go.
Yeah, I don't think it's entirely true. It's not like I've been going out there and asking I want to get traded now or something like that. It's something that's been going on with the negotiations and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, it's been a few frustrated years individually, and as a player, it all ends up coming to your next contract, obviously. And I've been a Dallas Star since day one. I've been pretty clear that I want to stay here. I grew up here. I got my daughter here and all that. But at the end of the day, it's a business. I understand it's a business on both sides. I got to take care of my part as well. And it's been standing still. I feel like I wanted to, after last season, I was pretty clear that I wanted to start negotiating right away and see where we were at. They wanted some time with free agency, draft, and stuff like that. And I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like I've been here proving what kind of player I've been for 8 years now. Other guys have signed right before the season before, and I wanted to do that as well. But lately, it's just been going more quietly. And For me as a player, I don't feel that I've been appreciated in that way when we don't even negotiating, and that it's quiet.
I just don't understand why
me
that
as a
stuff
player,
happens. It's so weird.
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. I mainly just wanted to play it up to where
Like the last
He's-
part, they're
says
like,
he feels
why does that
unappreciated.
happen so much?
Yeah.
Like, how many times do we hear that with like Benning and stuff? Like you just don't talk to these people.
yeah, like
Like,
why
what is wrong
aren't
with you
why
guys?
aren't
like,
you
just fucking
calling?
call the guy and talk bullshit for like 5 fucking minutes? Why the fuck not? Is that like
As-
that's something?
Yeah, have
Ask-
a good relationship with your players.
Yeah,
Jesus
like
Christ. Fucking
it's that's a key point to it. You need to have a good relationship. So like, I understand like the business and like there's pennies and dollars you got to work with, but like he's been there, like he said, his whole career. Like he
8
wants 8 years. He
10 years
wants
or
to
something.
be a Dallas Star. Keyword wants to be a star. He doesn't want to be traded. But if they're not going to appreciate him and give him a contract, and that they haven't
Like,
moved at all,
Yeah, like if you
Why
actually
would you
don't
wanna
trust him
stay?
enough to give him a contract like in the off season this year,
then
or-
have him
then-
leave and find a team now.
Then like you can understand why he's saying what he's saying. Like what the hell?
Yeah, if I'm John Klingberg and I know I'm not going to be a star next year, I don't care how good they are, they trade me at the deadline. They trade me at the
Exactly.
deadline.
Every team
Yeah.
needs players that are playing for the team and trying their hardest. If you got a guy who is planning to be traded and they know that, why would they go out there and give it their all?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's ridiculous. I can't believe that this is why Klingberg is in
That
trade
this is what
rumors.
happened.
This is what's
Yeah.
going on. There's no communication, and which is the GM's job, is to communicate with the players. I mean, through the agent, yes, but like,
like from Jim Neal of all people, like I think this guy's an unbelievably good GM.
Right.
So like this is kind of taking
From
me
left
back a little
field,
bit
hey?
that he handled this like this, unless this is how you handle guys that you plan to move on from, just like a bitch.
well, and I want to defend the GM for a half a second, and like with a grain of salt, I understand like they have these high positions for a reason to make these decisions properly. But like you do so much, you're probably gonna slip. There is a lot of players you got to worry about. But missing out on a guy who's been your guy for 8 years shouldn't happen. Should not happen. Like
Yeah, and signing him over.
yeah, and
not being able to
hearing
sign
other
Radulov is
Yeah.
is a very easy decision, guys.
yes. I'm just baffled that this is the reasoning between it all. So
Yeah, next episode I'll have some nice, sweet Dallas Stars. I'll probably be using these guys to sell off old Klingberg.
ooh, little
Give you guys
teaser
some
for next.
donations.
Some teaser for next episode, some selling talk. No, absolutely. So while we're on the trade talk, let's talk a little bit more and kind of tease a little bit more of that next episode.
First, if you're going to say trade, I feel like an idiot because I was doing Boston trades the other time with DeBrusque and I missed Lawson Kroos. DeBrusque,
Yeah,
Lawson Kroos. What do
no,
you guys think? Like he's a Bruin Kroos. Like, come on.
yes,
perfect on that
I
I don't know
I-
what you would need. You might need something more.
You
'cause
need
Kroos
something
is
more.
Younger, and he's probably going to be maybe more of a force. He's kind of like a Josh Anderson, got that big body.
yeah,
Worth 17 more first-round picks.
I don't know. It depends what his value is because I remember I traded him in the offseason for Pittsburgh to go to Pittsburgh and the GMs we did, right? And,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you did.
I had his value a lot lower because I didn't think they valued him because they never played him or anything. But maybe it's more because, like, say he's a big body. I'm not sure. I don't know what to value him. I don't know how to value any Arizona player because they can value whatever they want, but there's no proof that they're any good because Arizona's not that good.
Kroos is definitely somebody who's he's a gem. He's hanging out. He's gonna be a good compliment player.
Absolutely, I think so too.
Line.
But do Arizona view him as that, or do they? Yeah, right. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's tough to say. So, we'll see. But also kind of teasing next episode. I got some Chikrin news. We're going to go dive deeper into this, like with some of our thoughts on a trade front next episode, but I do want to read this in preparation for next week, if that's okay with you guys. This is from Elliot Friedman and Jeff Merrick on 32 Thoughts podcast. Jeff Merrick saying, I can confirm there are at least 10 teams in the NHL that have made inquiries about Jacob Chychrun. Also, Jeff Merrick saying a couple of offers have given the Coyotes cause for pause. So that's a start that this is a real reality that Chychrun might get traded. I never, like, this is the one guy you can say in Arizona right now, like one of the few that you're like, this is a surefire top guy that you can get, right?
Yeah.
And it's looking like it could actually become a reality when the Coyotes didn't initially plan on this at all.
Man, I think I said this before. It's dumb to not trade for him right now.
It is.
That contract, the fact that he might get traded in the offseason.
And it might be dumb for Coyotes not to take the big haul that they can get.
Exactly.
Like, this is a perfect situation for everyone, kind of, right? Like,
because you could, it's just, it's too good. Yeah.
Now, sorry, I got more on it. So I got some comparisons to kind of so that they made. So Jeff Merrick compared this return should be sought by the Coyotes to be similar to when big puck moving defenseman was traded. Can you pinpoint which player I'm talking about off the top of your heads?
Jonesy.
No, Brent Burns. Like way further back.
Wasn't he a winger when he got traded?
He was half. It was both, but he was turned into a D-man at the time, I think, sort of.
Yeah.
But anyways, Brent Burns was traded by Minnesota in 2011 for Devin Setoguchi, Charlie Coyle, and a first-round pick. So that's kind of a return. So what the Coyotes are looking for is a young player, a high-end prospect, plus a first-round pick. So, and he threw in a couple teams that could be interested. LA, St. Louis, and certainly Anaheim, depending on what they do with Hampus Lindholm. So, yeah, some very big teams.
There's a lot more people interested.
No, those are just a couple of teams.
I was wondering why they brought up the three teams in the West. That was the only thing.
Yeah, that's a little.
Why would you guys bring up the three teams in the West as like these are?
They need defense more than the teams in the East.
But like, it's just
these are the first three teams I probably look at that need a D-man like that to push them over the edge and make them better.
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's lots of guys in the
that
West
have assets to trade away as well and comfortably trade away. LA and Anaheim, two of the best prospect pools in the NHL.
Yeah, no, I do like what Anaheim could do with that. Cause
I like Anaheim in there. If Lindholm's not coming back, like, why not? Maybe you trade Lindholm at the deadline and bring in Chychrun. Use like that assets you get from Lindholm. If you don't think you can sign him, I think you sign him if you can, because I think Lindholm is unreal. But that's just me. But yeah, just some Chychrun news I wanted to throw out while we were doing some trade talk. Now I want to steer this. Let's steer this into probably the biggest news of the weekend. To quickly talk about it. Hey, you guys want to talk about Evander Kane and is officially a free agent? Evander Kane clears waivers and has his contract terminated by the San Jose Sharks. Initial reactions right away. I've got a whole bunch more on this, but just initial reactions with the termination of the contract. Jordan, I'll start with you.
It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, the reasoning why makes a lot of sense.
Which is exactly what I was about to get into. Allegedly, he traveled from San Jose to Vancouver while COVID positive.
Yeah, I have the exact date. So on December 21st, he tested positive for COVID and took a flight to Vancouver on December 29th without permission as well as without going to the doctor and getting tested to make sure you no longer had COVID.
Which is obviously against the protocol and is grounds for contract termination.
Yes.
So forfeit $28 million over the next
and actually illegal probably too, would it not be? Like,
yeah,
there's probably something
that, like, and also it's like the 21st of December, like that's Chris, like what the fuck are you doing around Christmas time?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, man, what the hell? How dumb are people? Like, what? Good God, man.
Well, I think he's from Vancouver, like that's why he was going to Vancouver, but I don't know.
Well, he was positive. I guess he did. He probably did. He know he was.
Well, yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he knew, but he left. Wow. So, like, I'm not, like, defending him here, but, like, it wasn't like he got positive that day and said, oh, I'm leaving on my flight tonight. It was 8 days later. However, he didn't make sure to go to the doctor, get checked to be tested negative to see if it was...
That's not...
It's not as bad. It's not like, it's not like he was like got tested that day and the next day took a flight. No, it was 8 days.
Needs to have more.
Yes, that's the difference. The responsibility of needing to make sure that's done with your job is
wild.
Is wild as well. There's also more to it. There's a lot more. Well, not a lot. There's this. He was supposed to show up to San Jose AHL affiliate, the Barracuda, on December 31st. Do you know when he decided to show up? January 6th. January 6th. He showed up a week late.
Wow. On that day
to his team.
On the day that is like, that's when they stormed the Capitol. Hey?
Yeah.
What a winner.
Yeah, so that's clear grounds, and San Jose were backed up by the NHLPA to terminate his contract. Yeah, and we knew this was happening most likely. I was trying to make a trade in a way with it because that looked like a way San Jose could do it, but...
Well, it sounded like people thought it was a thing. Like,
yeah.
They just did that for...
Yeah, so you never know, and... I thought there was something they could do to maybe like mess around with it and be able to do it. But no, I guess they end up just terminating his contract. And it's worth noting that there are multiple teams very interested in giving him a contract, a 1-year contract for the rest of the season. I wonder if Evander Kane becomes one of those players in the NHL for the next little bit. That signs 1-year deals on every team just to get money until finally teams are like, no.
Like Mike Hoffman.
Yeah. Different situation a little bit, but yes.
Well, obviously.
Way more.
Situation, but
I'm thinking like Antonio Brown. I'm thinking Antonio Brown as a comparison the past, what he was trying to do the past couple of years. Like, I think... He'll go places for a year, burn the bridge real fast, but he's a good hockey player, so he'll get a chance somewhere else. And then eventually he'll go to Russia and get paid.
Yep.
Because he needs some money, clearly. So, yeah. I wonder if that's the case.
Did you read or hear anything about, like, what's going to possibly happen with, like, the NHL PA investigating this?
I don't know because all I've heard
on like what that may come out or
quite close
why they're doing it.
Yeah, nothing yet, but the only thing that they've said is that San Jose has accused him, I guess. I should have pointed that out at the start, that he tested positive December 21st and took a flight 29th without permission and didn't show up for this time. Kane refused, but so it's under investigation. So technically it's not true, but
like what I'm kind of wondering is like, is this just like protocol? Is this the next step to it? Like San Jose terminates contract, the NHLPA then does this. Like I don't know. The NHLPA like, hey, we need to investigate this to just
they basically
or is that is their job when somebody files a termination of a contract? That's all I was wondering.
I think that's what it is. I think they're probably gonna invest. Right? They'll probably investigate to make sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, to make sure the contract is allowed to be terminated, they have to do an investigation. But
Yeah, make sure the grounds are all good.
Like you just said, in order as a company to terminate a contract of your employer, you have to have the right kind of grounds. That's the same for any sort of job.
Yeah.
Right. So I think, like you said, it's probably just like protocol things, them dotting their I's and crossing their T's, making sure there's, especially with the heat the NHLPA has been under, they don't want another fucking fuck up.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the only, like, there's a few ways. Like, I remember when Patrick Berglund's contract was terminated in Buffalo, and the NHL was actually really upset about Buffalo was going to terminate. And they're like, no, you can't do this. This is a $4 million contract or $3 million, whatever it was at the time. That's going to affect your team. But because both Buffalo and Berglund agreed and Berglund wasn't going to play in the NHL and forfeited that money, it was allowed. But yeah, no, weird situation. Just quick for fun. Name the first team you think should sign Kane.
Boston.
Yeah, that's not a bad one actually. Chase.
Ooh, let me just rifle through these teams real quick.
Just
Like,
name one. Just name one. Yeah, for now.
Oh yeah. Well, just wings, buddy. Let's take the wings.
You want the wings? Take them, hey? Oh.
No. I'll say it if you want me to say a team.
Yeah, okay.
Calgary will be
Calgary?
the other one.
All right.
Sure.
Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. I'm going to go with...
Actually, Vancouver, hometown. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Vancouver,
Oh, yeah.
hometown.
There you go. They sound like a team that would definitely do it.
Because in all reality... Oh, wait, sorry. This is what I was going to say now that I'm thinking about it more. What I was going to say is whatever his favorite team is, what team he grew up, actually gave a fucking shit about his whole life, that's the team that's beside him. Because if that doesn't work there, get out of here.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I have no idea. I think you just sign him 1-year deal until he finally fucks up and you just let him go. If you have to send him down to waivers to get rid of him, like, you do it. Yeah, I'm gonna
Seattle, shake that shit up, hey?
Oof,
Seattle pick this guy up.
Yeah, that's not good.
Going, hey?
I'm gonna throw some heat and throw Edmonton because they would be stupid enough to do that right now, and that would be so funny. But
and
now
you have the experienced guys in like a Kenny and Dave Tippett. Like you at least have guys that have been around and dealt with probably a lot of random
assholes.
So like maybe the better type of people that could take this guy on and be able to deal with them. And also it is Edmonton. It's only 1 year. You're just trying to. Yeah,
you're trying to fix this year. Trying to fix this year and be better. So that's something that would fit a lot better for them for sure. But yeah, you guys ready to move on to Chase's segment? Our Future Watch segment.
Future Watch. Who wants to start here, boys? Anybody got anything interesting?
Why don't you start it off, Chase? Why don't you start it off? Your segment. Okay, you kick her off there, bud.
Okay. Well, I'll start off with a little rule change. Something I probably brought up before, but I just want to get it out there again. Change this offside rule. When entering the zone, once the puck is fully on the blue line, the puck is now in the O zone, which this basically means your other teammates need to have a skate on the blue line once the puck is on the blue line. So you can have the puck on the blue line and everyone else can enter the zone. It's easier to call and it's easier to review. What do you guys think?
I agree.
Because I hate that you have to get it over the blue line, and that makes it in the zone. But then once you do that, the puck can go on the blue line, and it's still in the zone.
I think it makes
blue line a neutral.
It makes it faster. It makes the game a lot faster, which I like, because then there's gonna be less having to slow down as much for offsides. It might get closer to call is the only other downside, but like there's a bigger
guys are always trying to cheat anyways. So give them that blue line area to cheat.
It's like,
know
what this can be compared as is like the extra step in basketball, how they allow the control step basically. So
Yeah,
it's because traveling is 3 steps or more, but actually in the NBA it's 4 steps or more.
Yeah,
because
and, like,
they
a lot of times you see when players will carry the ball up, sometimes they will travel, right?
yeah, and it doesn't get called, or because they say they're getting control of it as one of the steps, so it counts as your pivot or some bullshit like that. Use that in the NHL to make the game faster, because they changed that rule in the NBA to that, to make offense happen more and more stuff happen and you to be faster. Like, I agree. If it makes the game better offensively and less offsides, I'm game.
Yeah,
but
like,
I like the
it's
thing.
easier to call because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I think I called it like this when I was a ref for quite a while because one, it was a lot easier to actually call. You could tell once the puck was on the blue line and somebody's skate was on the blue line. You could actually tell that in fast time. You could tell that was actually
there's enough of a gap between it to see, and
hey, so I think
it's like seeing the line of scrimmage on TV for football. Best example, I think. Can I piggyback off of that? This isn't my future watch, but I kind of want to piggyback on a rule. I heard it. I don't know where I heard it, whether it's on TV, Sportsnet, or whatever. They're trying to fix overtime, 3-on-3, and make it so.
What do you mean? I thought it was the best thing.
Well, like, just so teams aren't like holding the puck for
not
3.
High on pot news anymore on the old 3-on-3.
Well, it's just everyone holds the puck for 3 minutes straight and recircles. And I heard someone say
been going
this
on the whole time. Guys.
Yeah, I know.
I started noticing.
Well, they notice now, and it's boring because more teams do it. But like many,
there's only 2 or 3 opportunities through the whole fucking thing.
Pretty much, but you know what? It didn't used to always be that with every team. Now every team does that.
Yeah, they have everybody has
everybody dominates possession. Yeah, and it's just boring. So make a rule for 3-on-3 overtime regular season. That's it. That is it. Just 3-on-3 regular season overtime. Make the basketball rule of over and back. Once you pass the red line, you cannot carry the puck back yourself past the red line. Then there's no turning back. If you want to turn back and go in between the blue line, red line, go for it. But you can't go past the red line.
Yeah, man. Like,
that would make it so interesting.
You could go 5-on-5 and just have no offside and no icing. Like, just do something. Cool. Like they're
3-on-3, no icing, no offsides.
Yeah, it could be 4-on-4, it could be 5-on-5. It doesn't matter. Like, I think I'd like to see 5-on-5 again, and then just take out a bunch of.
Takes too much time is the issue.
And an icing, if that can pop things up to actually.
The time, it's just games take too long with 5-on-5 overtime is the issue. Like, it's the best way to go, but
fast pace, 5-on-5, good action, constant action, just like normal.
Are you doing like 5 minutes, 5-on-5?
No offsides,
still,
so people can just cherry pick like shit. You can ice the puck and it doesn't matter and shit like that, or maybe that's not the best idea, but still, like, you get what I'm saying. I'm sure we could do something like adjust the rules to.
But like, what are you doing for time?
Like, I like what you're saying about the over and back thing when it comes to the 3-on-3. It's not a bad idea because then that either forces an opportunity or forces you to just give them the puck or something like that.
Yeah,
go on the defense.
Back to your 5-on-5 thing. What are you doing for time though? Still 5 minutes, and then shootout.
The whole point of the 5 minutes was just to get. Yeah, it would still be the same
5 minutes and then shootout because
you got to get those people.
That makes it better. That makes it better to get people out.
You can't hold people, So that was a big argument for this in the first place. Was just to let's end this game quick so everybody can actually go home. So I don't know what the fix is. I never really loved going to 3-on-3. I love watching it. Like, it's cool because then
it's just so much ice.
3-on-3.
Yeah, it's fun. It's awesome. I like it. I don't dislike it. Like, I prefer 5-on-5. I understand why there isn't, so I'm okay with it because it's just regular season. Honestly,
if they didn't change it, I wouldn't care.
Would you guys prefer to go back to ties, or would you rather shootouts?
No.
To end games. What's better?
No,
Because people
I like
always
somebody
say
winning.
like,
Ties aren't better, so I'd say shootout.
okay, I agree, but like it's just a question I had because there's a lot of older timer people talk about it, how they
Mhm.
hate that games end in a shootout, which I completely understand, and goalies do too, because it is kind of bullshit. Like the best team doesn't win in a shootout. If you go to a shootout, like it's whoever has the 3 better players wins.
Mhm.
Like that's all it is. It's a talent. Yeah, like not even typically like.
Hey man, I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of on that side before they did it,
And I
too,
agree.
And like I
But-
agree in a sense, but like once again, it
There's
all
also
came down to, like actually
logic.
getting people home.
Yes.
Like, sorry, like,
yes.
the game's already so long. Most people don't even want
The-
to be
like,
there at the end of the game because
We don't want a regular season
young.
game to end up like Dallas in 2000, like what was it, 8, 7 or something, where they went to like 6 overtimes. Like we don't want a regular season game ending at 3 a.m. on a Wednesday. Like, right? Come on now.
Yeah, I don't know. The shootout's exciting. It gives you some talent. Like it's entertaining. Like I don't.
It
that's
is.
why. And it's a regular season, so it's like it doesn't.
Who cares?
matter that
It
much.
doesn't.
I feel like it's perfect actually to end a game because
Yeah.
it's one of those things where clearly it was a tie. Who's gonna win the shootout? Couldn't tell you. You know. Like,
Yeah, right.
it doesn't-
Yeah,
you know,
it
like,
makes it more
luck of the
even,
draw,
I
I
guess.
guess,
It's like it's
you know?
just the same as like flipping the heads and tails.
Yeah,
coin.
hey?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I was just asking
But-
because it's relevant to ask.
But I understand the question because exactly we just said it, or you just said it. Like you flip a heads or a flip a coin. That's how we're finishing and how we're figuring out who wins. I can understand why people want to tie.
Yeah,
based off of that,
I
you
just
know?
wanted to know because what's better, winning and losing that way and getting a mercy point, or just both getting 1 point from a
Mhm.
tie?
Being in the
Right.
NHL, I can understand why they say I'd rather have a tie.
Yeah, yeah, and
But-
so I part of me gets it, part of me doesn't. The enjoyment factor of shootouts is what trumps for me, and it gets you views
does.
online for hockey, which we need. So
Yeah.
that's my stance with it. It can get you more money with the shootout
And I'm
because
not
it's a
gonna lie,
gimmick.
the one thing I remember from the start of the season is Jack Hughes
Yep.
in that OT.
Yep.
And throwing that. So like I
Beauty
don't know,
walking
sometimes
the
it's-
Blackhawks there.
Yeah, so
So-
it's hard to hate on how the OT is set up and the shootout because
Yep.
it does create quick, fun, good moments. I know it's kind of blah most of the time, but you're getting like 3 or 4 unreal opportunities in an OT. So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. Jordan, what is your future watch?
Mine is as the NHL grows, I hope to see more outdoor sporting events.
Yeah.
Right? Like how awesome would a fucking Battle of Alberta be at Lake Louise? Or hell,
I
like
know.
fucking
Yes.
I
the
know.
Rangers versus the Islanders in like Central Park or something.
And know what they need to fix
They're
too?
talking about it for
Know
sure,
what-
man.
There's something
I
they need
want
to
that to
fix
happen
is
so
the
bad.
teams that play each other. They gotta stop doing the basic teams playing each other. Pick 2 teams, same division, who are good at the same time or something.
Yeah.
Pick interesting hockey games where it means something, where it's gonna have heart. Like there's certain obvious ones that would be fun, like a Toronto Montreal. Like we all know that would be entertaining, whether the teams are good or bad, because it's the rivalry,
Yeah, but
right?
they
Like
probably got
Pittsburgh,
to do the
Philly.
first 5 or something dumb like that.
No,
so,
I get that, but like it's the like Pittsburgh, Philly. That would be good. How about Detroit,
Yeah.
Colorado? Why don't you do that? An
No doubt.
old time rivalry. That would be fun to see. They're not rivals anymore in different divisions, but it'd be interesting. Like Florida, like the Battle of Florida. Do that now. How much fun would an outdoor game this year of those 2 teams be? It would be
Honestly,
perfect.
one
Like,
thing-
it would be awesome.
Yeah.
One thing I'd really like to see, just because I don't think we'll ever get an NHL team in Saskatchewan. Like I wish we could find a way to have host one game. I really wish we could. Like even not even just Saskatchewan, the Northwest Territories, the like,
everywhere.
anywhere.
The coast,
like
the
even
East
a
Coast.
preseason- Can you do
Can
a
you do it?
preseason game in the Northwest Territories? This is cold enough at that time. Can you
Do
make that happen?
it. Do one in
We should.
do one in Halifax,
That'd
or,
be awesome.
or even do some like even
Yeah,
if they're not
exactly,
necessarily
like-
outdoor game. They don't have to be
they
outdoor.
don't
It'd be
have to
cool
be,
if they were
like-
outdoor, but But like, yeah, do some.
In all reality, yeah, they don't even. Have
they do the
outdoor
Europe
games.
trip. Why don't they do it certain places in Canada that don't have a team, in the States that don't have a team? They're talking about doing it in Mexico, which is cool. But yeah, no.
Like they do have preseason games here in Saskatoon and stuff like that.
Sometimes, yeah.
But like doing outdoor games in like Saskatchewan or up
like
in
real games where you get to see like
cool, man.
where it's like Pittsburgh, Washington, Crosby, and Ovi in the game. Like that's what you want to see from these towns. We never get to see it. I think that'd be cool too. Piggybacking off of that, jumping onto my future watch. I'll tell you what mine was gonna be that I had to change. My future watch was I am so excited for the Winnipeg Jets to come turn into the Saskatoon Jets for a time being and watch some games. We seemed like so close. I knew it wasn't gonna happen, but I was praying that was gonna be my future watch, but it obviously we know now that it's not happening. I had so much
hope for that 24 hours.
Yeah, me too. I was sitting there like, oh my god, please.
What the hell did you see my comment on Twitter? I was like, they're like, do you want to see a game or would you go to a game in Saskatoon? Like, fuck yeah, I'll go to a game and get COVID.
Yeah, I did. I see that.
I'll go to a Jets game and get COVID.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm the same way. Like, I was so pumped. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna spend my money on rent and NHL tickets this month.
Like, I wouldn't give a shit.
I'll starve. I don't care.
No way.
I'm going every game I can. I was so pumped, but unfortunately, that's not gonna happen. So I'm gonna change it. It's a lot more boring than going to a game in Saskatchewan, see the Saskatoon Jets, but I'm going to be a little boring with my own team. I'm excited for Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang Malkin, first of all, to come back, but at the end of the year for them both to sign $5 million contracts apiece for like 2 years. And then we have all the cap space in the world to get Fleury and another D-man, and we're going to go one last hurrah, couple 1-year deals, 2-year deals, and just fucking go for it and try and win.
Let's be serious. They can sign like 3-4 year $5 million deals.
They could sign $3 million deals, honestly. They've made enough money. Like
for 5 years?
Malkin actually came out and said he's made enough money. So,
well, who hasn't? Yeah, no doubt.
Right? Like, I'm hoping he takes like the biggest discount along with Letang for like a 2-year, 3-year deal.
Yeah. Just for once, we'll actually see somebody end their career with happiness instead of just like, maybe we'll make the playoffs this year.
Yeah, like exactly. So. Like that's
working anymore. Jumbo Joe here in San Jose.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just excited. I really hope that they do sign cheap deals. I believe they will, but
something tells me they will sign.
They will sign cheaper
term, cheaper deal. I think they'll sign like a 4 or like because obviously, I'm assuming these guys think they'll play for another 4 or 5 years. So. As long as they feel confident in themselves. And
Malkin says his knee feels like 200%. So,
yeah, I think we'll see good $4 or $5 million deals for
that'd be cool
3 to 5 years.
That'd be fantastic.
Back on that, what do you think? Just to twist some future watch on you. When Malkin gets back, are you guys going to win a game? And how many games are you going to win in the first 5 games? Are you going to win any of them? All 5 of them.
1 out of 7.
1 out of 7? You think you're going 1 out of 7 when he gets back?
We'll our first 5 games. We will probably, if we don't lose,
I'll say you'll go under 500 the first 5 games.
Yes. I will take that bet. Because unless Rodriguez and like Kapanen are just like the best chemistry in the world with Malkin, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Or know what? Crosby, Rust, and Gensel have been on such a tear lately that if they keep going when he comes back, he might be able to hide. He's got 13 points in 3 games.
Yeah, 5 points in 1 game.
Yeah, 13 points in 3 games. You know who has more than him in that many games?
Oh, you guys should have signed him already, bud.
Oh, I don't know what's gonna happen there. I don't know if he's gonna sign $6 million or if we're just gonna let him go or trade him
at the deadline so you can fucking afford.
That'd be nice.
Here, the way things are going.
Yeah, he hasn't even played, and we're so good without him.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I kind of want to trade Zucker for the cap now. I really want the cap space over Zucker.
Yeah.
He hasn't he hasn't played for a couple weeks, and I forgot he was a Penguin. So I think we can do without Zucker. But yeah, I just got a couple more news. I'm going to go around the NHL. We'll kind of go through a couple teams. And we'll close off with Jordan's injury corner there. So you guys just piggyback on when I add teams, and once I'm done, if there's anything else you guys want to add, just kind of jump in, okay? Let's start with the Chicago Blackhawks. And, well, more or less, Marc-Andre Fleury becomes the first goalie in NHL history to beat all 32 NHL teams. So
nice. I was hoping you were gonna bring that up. I was gonna write it down, but then I was like, this guy's gonna.
I got it. Oh, yeah, I know Fleury. All the stats, man. He's broken records this year, a couple too, which is great. Yeah, no one said a really, really interesting stat. Jordan? Do you remember? I ask you because you're the one that said it earlier this year in the podcast. Who was the first player to score on all 32 NHL teams this year?
I do remember it. Was it?
I'll give you a hint. It was Fleury's old teammate.
Yeah, it was one of the Vegas boys. Was it Carlson?
No, bigger, better player, winger.
Stone.
Yeah, the other one.
Newer transaction.
The other one, Pacioretty.
Patches, man. Patches.
It's Patches. Oh my god, that is so funny. If I said another one, if you would have said Riley Smith, I would have been so mad. No, Max Pacioretty. And the reason I bring that up, do you guys know who Marc-Andre Fleury's agent is?
No,
Alan Walsh. Do you know who Max Pacioretty's agent is? Alan Walsh. So just a cool. I means absolutely nothing but cool. Old teammates, both have the same agent. Both first to beat and score on all 32 teams, and Seattle being that team. So just kind of, I thought that's a kind of cool connection. At least I think it's interesting, but I'm also I'm a hockey nerd. So moving on, I'm going to move on to the LA Kings as they hire Mark Bergevin as a senior advisor to their GM, as well as locking up Rob Blake as their GM. For a 3-year deal. What do you guys think? Man. What do you guys think of the Burger Van in LA? Getting nice, relaxing at the beach all day. Calling, saying Philip Deneau is a pretty good center. He's gonna win
good
us.
For him, go somewhere where everybody will forget he's there.
Yeah, honestly.
Maybe this will be where Kane ends up.
Yeah, LA. Oh. Yeah, he does like picking risky picks.
Good point. That's exactly right.
Oh, God.
Wow. Nailed that.
Nice. Nice.
We don't have to think about Kane anymore. We know
and then once Montreal renounces Logan's picks, because know where he's going to sign. What do you guys think, though, about the Rob Blake extension in LA? What do you think of him as GM? Do you like him as LA's GM? What he's done thus far?
Yeah, I think this is a fantastic move.
How long has he been there now, man?
I don't know. I'll check.
It seems like
you guys talk about his term, and I'll find it.
I think he's put a lot of work into this team, and it's starting to finally fulfill the vision he saw of it.
One thing I can say is that, like, man, he did not listen to anybody around him. He did his job, and he didn't care what anybody was saying on his team, how old they were or anything.
Yeah.
It's like I'm growing this team. Like I don't care what
He-
you guys think.
I have the
You know?
answer for you. He has been there since 2017, April of 2017. He has been the GM. So
Yeah, so he
Start-
has basically made this whole team.
start of
Yeah,
the 2017 offseason, he has made this whole team. He's been there a while, 5 years now. Well, coming up on.
Can't say enough
And-
good things about it. Like
Yeah,
I
I
said,
think it's a
he's
great deal.
actually grown the team instead of, being forced by
Transitioned
what people
it.
say. Like,
Yep.
stop
He
getting into
transitioned
the
them
hearsay
from
and what people want, and I'm Doughty and I want to win, and like, yeah, so do I, man. Why do you think I'm doing what I'm doing? So
yeah, for sure.
no,
Absolutely.
I like it. It's cool to see Rob Blake and that whole Colorado team becoming the best GMs and the Red Wings teams.
Oh, like, yeah, for their former teams, like Sakics.
Yeah, Sakic.
Yeah, love it. All we just need now is a Patrick Waugh in Montreal, and all of our dreams will come true.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. Lou.
Yeah. And then the Sedin sisters and our
Yeah, they're the
Sedin brothers.
They're in there.
I shouldn't. I don't think you're allowed to say that anymore. That's probably really offensive, so I apologize for that. But no. Yeah, lots of former faces coming back to their team's GM, and it tends to work. So, nothing else on LA for you boys?
Nope.
Well, no, it's just smart moves trading like a Jeff Carter. I think that was a good
Smart move for both. Both teams thrived in that deal. Hey.
They're like, is this trade even done yet? It doesn't even look like they've gotten anything out of this trade yet.
Because it's just a couple picks. It's nothing crazy.
Yeah. 22 third-round pick can be upgraded to a second if the Penguins reach the Stanley Cup final this year.
Yeah. So
and Carter plays in at least 50% of the games.
Which
Crazy.
There's a chance.
Stanley Cup final, hey.
Yeah. That's crazy, hey. I got just one more team and one more thing to talk about here. So, Arizona picking up a new player as they claim Riley Nash off waivers from Tampa Bay. Tampa just losing everyone to waivers this year. Just shows how good their depth is, but decent claim by Arizona. Probably gonna trade him at the deadline. No,
might be able to. Yeah.
Like might be able to get a 5th round pick out of him or something. Like if you can get any type of pick for Riley Nash, maybe the Leafs want to bring him back. Worked good the first time.
First round pick for him.
Yeah, exactly. Bring back him and Kessel. But yeah, no. Just a claim by Arizona. I mean, he's a better player than probably their whole 4th line. So it's an upgrade. Do you guys have any other stuff to talk about? Any other teams?
Yeah, a monkey dropped the puck at the Ducks Wings game. That
oh yeah,
that was awesome.
It was amazing. Like I drop pucks that good. Like that's how good that drop was. It was unreal. So sick.
That's fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah, dude. I should have a monkey. Why don't I have a monkey? What am I doing?
I think it's illegal actually to have a pet monkey in this country. I believe so.
What a joke.
I think I googled it that in Canada it's illegal. To own a monkey as a pet.
living in the wrong place, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta move somewhere where they allow it.
In the States, though, you can own a monkey freely in Alabama, Arkansas, Illinois, Iowa,
in
Kansas,
certain
Missouri.
states. In certain states, you can do anything you want.
Yeah, basically
Half of the states you can own a monkey.
America's so weird, man. They're just like, oh, you can do these weird things here, and you can do these other weird things
in
here.
Texas, you need a permit, but you can own a monkey with a permit.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, I'm sure some states lions are pets, and some states lions.
Oh yeah, we all watched Tiger King during the pandemic.
So rattling, man. At least they're all different over there. Hey.
Yeah, At least
They've
it's
got their own
always
little
it's
world.
never dull. It's never dull in the news, that's for sure.
You just like literally drive like 100K and you're just in a different world.
Yeah, it's different everywhere. It's so funny. It's like you're driving into a different country instead of a different state.
Like, yeah, no shit, dude. No shit. It's like, oh, put your weed away.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, so good. I can say some really uncolorful jokes right now. I'm biting my tongue so hard right now. Let's move on.
Vegas. Heard a rumor about Vegas trying to maximize their LTI cap by bringing on the old Ryan Kessler. So they're going to find a way to just max this LTIR so then they can stay as cheap as possible and save as much money as possible and somehow make this cap work. But
yeah, I got some news on actually Vegas and their cap situation. So how it works, they need to clear up $10 million cap space. But with all of the crew messing around, it's like 7.6 or something like that. They have to 7.7 maybe. They have to clear up that much cap space to bring in Jack Eichel because Pacioretty is not on LTIR, just IR. I realized, and so we read that wrong 2 podcasts ago when we brought it up or whatever. So, fair points.
Oh, so they didn't actually put him on the LTIR?
No, they weren't. They weren't allowed because he's actually coming back sooner than they thought.
Oh, okay.
So he's only on the IR and can't come back. But with space, so they do have to make a trade. So Dadonov and Riley Smith, we're looking at you two with very big eyes, and I wouldn't be surprised if Janmark also got dealt in some type of a move, but just keep an eye on those names, that's for sure.
Yeah, I wonder if they move a Nolan Patrick just because he does have a 1.2 or something like that. And just to get that extra cap. Like they're probably going to stay away from Stevenson, but like I wonder if
you keep Stevenson.
If everybody can get on the same page and be like, well, how about you guys lose Stevenson and we'll take some cap, you know?
Yeah.
So,
that's maybe I don't think you can swing that. I don't think you swing that with them. They probably can, but I am at their worst case, you just give away Riley Smith. Like absolute worst case. Right? Mm-hmm. And you can do that.
They have a 2nd round pick right now. This year's 2nd round pick, a couple deeper picks, but everything else is stuck in a condition. So that's
pretty much. Yep. So it's crazy stuff with Vegas. But is that all the news you boys have around the league before we can close off with the injury corner?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's close off with this injury corner.
To start with, we've got Barrett Hayden. He will be out until the end of February with what is claimed to be a minor hand injury.
Man, that's a tough break. Don't want to lose him. Don't have very many players.
Yeah, that's not good. Don't have any players.
Yeah, exactly, and it gets worse.
Well, I guess that's why they claimed
the first line. He created like the only actual NHL line they had on their team with like Keller and.
I guess that's why they claimed Riley Smith. Or not Riley Smith's, Riley Nash, sorry.
Yeah.
Jonas Brodin will be out for at least a week with an upper body injury, so nothing too bad.
He's a good Brodin.
Yeah.
Ryan Nugent Hopkins, he will miss between a week to 3 weeks with a lower body injury, so hopefully for Edmonton that's on the shorter side.
Sorry, what was the name there?
Nugent Hopkins.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's not had a great season if I'm being brutally honest. Like he's not scoring a lot, but yeah, hopefully he comes back. They really need to turn their shit around.
Jay Beagle is out after having lower body surgery, so he's not likely to return until the end of the season, but there's a slim possibility.
Ooh.
The Beags.
Yeah, that's a pretty
such a shame. 2nd line center.
If not first.
The best second line center on the Arizona Coyotes.
Depends when Nick Schmaltz decides to show up or not.
Exactly.
Picks and chooses.
Speaking of Nick Bugstad, he will be out until the end of February with an upper body injury.
Man, that guy's always injured. Always. Yeah, I know very, very well.
The depiction of Lemon.
Yeah, no kidding. Like he was a Penguin. That dude lived on the IR.
Yeah.
Nikita Zaitsev, he will be out until the end of the month with a heel injury.
Not like Ottawa can get much worse.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't want to be too mean, but like realistically, Ottawa's season's over. Like they're not making playoffs or anything. So
and
continue.
The last injury before some injury updates. Jaden Schwartz, he had hand surgery, so he'll be out until mid-February.
Oh, that's rough.
Yeah, it's a pretty big blow for the Blues.
Oh, I have a Seattle stat for you guys that heard on a podcast. Well, we bring them up. Grubauer is having the worst season by a goaltender since 1930s or 1940s. Like, yeah.
Yeah, like you need Fleury or else an expansion the first year is have to be fun, I think.
Seemingly, hey.
It was like I think I've said this before, but it is mind blowing that like we talked about like the goaltending thing so much about the Vegas goal. Like who's gonna be a goalie for like how do you almost have to take Fleury? Like it's got to be Fleury, like because how do you get through how do you become a team without having great goaltending? Like it's just impossible. And it makes sense that Seattle's having so much trouble with this goaltending because in all reality, it's like the hardest position to actually work for a team. Like it's why teams don't make playoffs sometimes. It's why teams fall apart. It's why they are stuck in limbo and stuff like that because they just can't find goaltending. Like look at Edmonton and stuff, you know? Like wow. So crazy. The old Vegas.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Two injury updates. One, Ryan Pulak, he could return from his lower body injury as early as next week.
That's good. They really could use it. The Islanders technically aren't like out. I think they are, but if they get hot, they get the right players coming back, and they need it on the back end.
I do still believe in this team having a good second half and getting close to the playoffs. I don't think they'll get in. Too many good teams to push yourself.
I think Boston will. I think Boston's in. No, yeah, Boston should squeeze in that final wild card.
Yeah, unless Boston or the Rangers, to me, start dropping and really screw up. Those are the only teams that they're gonna surpass, and I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, fair enough. Blake Wheeler as well. He could return from his knee injury as early as next week.
Nice, man. The fourth line. Third line. I don't know. I think Wheeler, they should really start considering playing him low in the lineup and reducing his ice time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, like, saying he's not going to be effective. Like, I know I said that one day. I was, like, really heated. Or for whatever reason, I said Blake Wheeler shouldn't be an NHLer. He's obviously an NHLer, but... No, I don't know. I do not trust him 5-on-5. You're gonna get scored on when he's on the ice a lot of the time. Like it just happens. So you gotta reduce his role.
Yeah, fair enough. He is getting up there.
You got good enough wingers to cover.
They have to figure out what works. Like that's fucking for sure.
You rely on Ehlers and Connor, not Wheeler.
You're not getting a forward group. That's what you're not getting. Every game you're not getting a forward group. You're getting a line or two, and it's a complete gong show. You know?
Shifley needs to get his head out of his ass. Dubois has been really good. He slowed down a little bit, but lately, he started good.
That's got to stop. You guys got to stop just not showing up.
Shifley, I'm so disappointed in Shifley's season.
Points. Like you don't have to. I'm not saying just because you're not getting points, Dubois, you're terrible. But you guys have to like actually fucking be effective. Like Jesus Christ, like stop.
Yeah.
Like I said, forward group, show up as a group instead of just who the three guys are gonna play good tonight. Like it's pissing me off because this team's so much better, and the fact that Maurice left thinking that he couldn't help this team. Like I don't know these guys need to help themselves, and maybe that's what Maurice was getting at. It's that I can't no coach is gonna push these guys over the edge. So
Yeah.
let's just.
I have a
bring in
question
somebody
about
else and
Dubois.
see how that's not gonna help because you guys gotta do it yourself. Like.
Yeah, I have a
Exactly.
question
like you said, you
about
can't just
Dubois.
lean on
Quick.
Connor.
Yeah, I have a question on about Dubois. Now, I'm not like putting this out there or anything, but it's a serious question. Is Dubois lazy? Because I think of it this way. There has to be. Like, we thought in Columbus at the end there, like, oh, maybe it's because he wants out. But, like, what if he's lazy, but Torts just pushed him so hard that it seemed like he was a hard worker? And when he is an extremely talented player. Extremely talented. I think Dubois could be a number one center if he worked his bag off at both ends of the ice every night.
Yeah.
But he just decides times where he's like, whatever. I'll just float.
Well, put it this
I'll
way:
float.
he's on the Jets, 32 games, 26 points. Why are you a -2?
Yeah.
How are you a -2?
Yeah.
What is that? What is that, man? Your
Yeah,
team's
as
better than that. Whatever
as a
line you're on should
strong
be a
defensive
positive
center
team or a
too.
positive line.
And as he's titled as a strong defensive center, that's not okay. He's supposed to be the shutdown guy.
They've got one of them has to be one of them, or both of them have to be both at the same time, and you guys got to start doing it instead of wondering who's going to show up offensively or if I'm going to show up or what.
It's something.
I'm
frustrated. Trust me, I'm just as frustrated as this team as you are. I think we all are. I think Jets fans are. That's why I thought maybe the Saskatoon fans could really pump them up better and make them better, but guess not.
We would.
We would. But anyways, Jordan, why don't you continue with...
That's okay. There's just a few more things. Anthony Mantha, he could return in February, so that's pretty exciting.
That's exciting for you guys. You guys could use some more healthy faces.
And finally, we've got Jack Eichel. He is skating with the team next week.
Nice. That's awesome. I'm so pumped. I am so pumped. He's like a month away from coming.
Return is looking more and more likely for him, so.
Yes.
Yeah, buddy. He would have played in the Olympics.
This is so good. I'm so excited. At least, even though Olympics aren't happening, at least Eichel's coming back.
Man.
Oh, I'm so pumped to see him play on a real hockey team. Oh my god.
He looks so good in that jersey.
Yeah, man. He already does. But no, I do want to quickly throw out there, I don't know how this just casually slipped into the news, and I don't know how like nobody brought it up, like even in the big dogs that do the researching. Nikita Kucherov came back from injury this week as well. We forgot to bring that up last injury corner.
I saw that.
Yeah, I didn't think he was this close. Now, I didn't think they were gonna do what they did last time with Kucherov, but I thought he was out until like around the deadline, not January, early January. I thought end of February, early March, like something around there.
That guy's good at recovering. He's just as good at hockey as he is recovering. So
no
cool.
kidding. He's just dedicated, man. Like such a good player. I've heard stories about him where like he got mad at his team and yelled at him after they won like 8-2 and because he got like 5 points and 1 goal, but he should have had 8 points and a hat trick, and he got pissed off. So same with Malkin. He smashed his stick into a billion pieces in the shower because they beat the Leafs 5-0, and he got 5 assists and didn't score.
Oh, dude, did you see that guy, that Philly, or did we bring this up already? I can't remember. That one guy just destroying his stick in the
Farabee.
Hallway. Yeah, that's who it was.
It was Farabee. No, we didn't bring it up, I don't think. But yeah, Farabee at the Pittsburgh game just fucking smashing into a billion pieces.
Had like a 6 foot or a 6-inch stick left.
Yeah. How about Rick Bowness trying to impersonate him last night after losing to the Blues?
Yeah.
Just whipping it. That's a guy whose ass is probably on fire right now with how hot his seat is.
Check on Twitter because I retweeted the picture of Miro Heiskanen Okay, so like the Blues
Yeah,
guy,
I
like,
see
fell
it. I
over.
see it.
He literally is holding the guy's stick, and his stick is in Heisman's face. It's just like the funniest thing.
Oh
Like,
my
yeah, I can
gosh.
understand why Stars fans are mad.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey. Yeah, that makes sense, but it's still very very possible that Bonus's ass is on fire from how hot his seat is. So
Well, they played that. Well, there was a game or two. Like they didn't keep the fucking Ben Sagan Gerd line together. They haven't just left it together.
Yeah.
Rattled.
Yeah,
I was
no
really
kidding.
Looking
Hey.
forward to seeing that line like find its way, and it keeps bouncing them around. He only keeps that first line together with Robertson, Pavelski, and
Well, that line's their only like fantastic line, so
yeah,
makes sense. But anyways, is that it, Jordan, for all the injury corner and everything?
That she is.
All right. Well, thanks everyone for watching, listening, however you listened or watched. Yeah, exactly. Oh, thanks for saving me there, Jordan. But go follow us on our social medias on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Starting to post, trying to post more stuff out, using them more. So go show us some love. But for now, catch you guys next podcast.
Take care.
Peace.